So yeah, this is everything for a reason, the project. I feel like it was important to do this, not just for myself and to show my maturity in my music, but also I'd like to use this project as a chance for other people that identify in the same ways that I do, mixed ethnicity, single parent household, growing up in a working class background, impoverished areas, places with lack of opportunity. I wanted this to resonate with people that identify with those same experiences in life. So everything for a reason, for me, I use everything for a reason to, it's almost like a coping mechanism, a emotional regulator, do you get what I mean? I use everything for a reason to deal with things that can't be explained, do you get what I mean? My mum always said, it is what it is. And I truly believe that it is what it is, but sometimes we don't know why it is, and everything for a reason is something that helps me cope with that. We might not know what the reason is right now, but there's always a reason. What isn't meant for me shall pass, and the same for you. And I just want that sentiment to be known going through the music that I put out, and also when you listen to this project as well. So yeah, I think if I go through what each song means to me, I kind of want to talk about each song to give some context. People have messaged me about this, and if you were at the listening party, you kind of get an understanding a little bit more about what it is that the songs mean. But I think it's important for me to do a little video that speaks about them. So I'm just going to take the time now to go through each song and just talk about why I created it and what they mean. So I think Start Again is the perfect place to start, as it is the first song on the project. Now, I made Start Again, it was actually the last song that I made off the project. And it came at a time that was really important to me. For those that know, I was touring the world with an artist called Wonder for the past 2 or 3 years potentially. And we've been on the road together, had amazing experiences, and I learned a lot, and I'm really grateful for the time that we had together as performing professionals, I suppose. Like, she's still my family outside of music. We still speak outside of music. We still speak in music, but I mean, as far as musical outputs, it was important for me to realize that if I'm being honest, I was almost living somebody else's dream. And there comes a time in your life when you realize that you are also a leader as well. Do you get what I mean? And it's that fly the nest analogy, do you get what I mean? I got a lot of experience with Wonder and great opportunities as well, but I found that it was time for me. I was kind of not focusing on my own stuff, and it started to compound and become like, right, you need to do the thing that serves you, which is do the music. Do you get what I mean? Do your music, focus on your music. And I realized I was cutting off other opportunities to do things with Wonder, for example, and although it was great, I was kind of shooting myself in the foot by turning down some of these opportunities. And I realized, like, okay, you need to take a step back and focus on yourself. So I left Wonder's team, and I kind of realized in that moment that I'd gone from like doing all these festivals and all this high flying things to kind of like, oh shit, I've come back now, I've got no bookings yet, I've been doing all of this stuff, I haven't focused on myself. I kind of feel like I'm starting again. Now, it made me realize, like, I turned 30 years old. I kind of started to think, what am I doing? I've just, once you live these highs and you kind of go back to normality, you start to think like you are starting again. And I had to tell myself that, like, it is okay to start again. Do you get what I mean? Like, you're not just starting again in the natural sense of I'm starting from square one at all. That isn't what it was at all. It was more the fact that you're starting a new path again, and that's fine. That doesn't diminish the experiences that you've had before. So although it feels like you are starting again, it's kind of that isn't the case. Do you get what I mean? You're just taking a different path and you're going down that way, and you're kind of starting from the first step that you have to take in order to to carry on. Do you get what I mean? So the message behind Start Again is that it really is okay to start again. It might feel that you are, but we encounter change at different points in our life, and each time it might feel like we're starting from square one, but we actually aren't. Do you get what I mean? You can't diminish all of your life experiences before that point, and that's why I made Start Again. When you listen to it, you'll know the stuff that I'm saying in it. Hopefully you can resonate with it, but that's the be all and end all of Start Again. Right, so with Everything for a Reason, I've kind of spoke about it a little bit, but Everything for a Reason is exactly that for me. I said that my mum said it is what it is growing up. She also had in her MSN bio back in the day, for every action there's a reaction. And those two things have always stuck with me. I've always believed, some people say that I'm too chilled, why do you not care? Or why do you not, where's your for this thing? And it's because I truly believe that what isn't meant for me will pass, and what is meant for me will come. Now that sometimes comes with a bit of perceived complacency, but I'm just happy with where I am. It doesn't mean that I don't strive for more. I just trust that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And Everything for a Reason, the song encapsulates that feeling. I'm sort of talking about my experiences that have got me to this point now and to this realization, but it's almost like a bit of a pat on the back and a reminder that it really is everything for a reason. Just before the second verse, we get to this chant where I am kind of repeating everything for a reason again and again. And it's I want that bit to be the bit that people are shouting when I'm on stage, but also the repetition is powerful. Do you get what I mean? So that is the bit that if anything I wanted to repeat, it would be that. So it was important that I repeated that. Originally, I had a couple of people say they weren't a big fan of that section, but I think it's important to trust your own intuition, and for me that is the most important message of the project. So it was imperative to keep it in. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, that's Everything for a Reason. The song, obviously it's also the title of the project, and yeah, there's not much more to say on that tune really. Okay, so we get to the most controversial song on the project. Now it's controversial because everyone's feedback is, I wish this song was longer. Now, if you already know, you know that I'm talking about Jay's Confession. So, Jay's Confession, I'll tell you a little bit about this song. I wrote this song from the perspective of a friend that I have. We'll call him Jay for the purpose of this song. Now, I've always been, I call it road adjacent. Do you get what I mean? I'm very aware of the lifestyle that I could have lived growing up in the areas that I did. Now, I'm not going to snitch on myself, but I'll say I understand how that life works, is what I'll say. But for me, it's never been enticing in the way that it entices other people. And Jay's Confession is from the perspective of a friend that I used to spend a lot of time with, and they were stuck in this cycle of being on the road, and it was something that they couldn't get out of. Despite saying that they wanted to leave this life, they were also benefiting from the turbulence, is what I'll say. It's not a perfect world by any means, and it's kind of like, I don't know, how can I explain it? It's enticing, but at the same time, it's not good. It doesn't come with a lot of positives. It's perceived wealth. Do you get what I mean? It's not real. A lot of it is glamorized in songs. A lot of it is it's made out to be better than it is. Do you get what I mean? The statistics show that most people ain't making the money that they say that they're making from the road. But this song in particular kind of highlights the turbulence of the road life and the things that real people are actually thinking when they're there. Do you get what I mean? They ain't got a lot of friends. They're feeling lonely. They need people around them. They don't know who they can trust. But it's also a symbol. I produced the song. It's 47 seconds long, I believe. I made this, let me wait. So I made this song as short as it was to kind of symbolize the cycle of being on the road. Do you get what I mean? I deliberately made it a bit more distorted in the vocals. The tune is quite brash, I'd say. It's very aggressive, but there's also something in it that makes you want to hear it more, and that's what I'm talking about. It's that turbulence, but it's also that thing that entices people into the road life. is that how quick it is, how fun it seems, but it's actually not. And you get into the cycle, you go through what you go through, and it leaves you wanting more, and then you're stuck in that cycle. And that's why the song is so short. And I wanted to symbolize that in that as well. There's more than, I believe that sometimes you don't need words to explain things. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if I waffled that, but that's the meaning of Jay's Confession. Right, so then we have Where You At with Predo. I knew I wanted a song on this project that had paid homage to some of my inspirations. And for me, I've always been into American music and I've always been into UK music, and I thought where better to bridge the gap than obviously Skepta, who's a big influence of mine, but also I'm thinking the Project Pat, the 3-6 Mafia, the It Ain't Safe, the ASAP Rocky. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of mashup. So when I was producing the song, I was very mindful of wanting to keep that sonically within that. Now obviously the flows on the first verse are a bit more English. The flows on the second verse especially, it's almost like a direct homage to Little Glock. There's a tune called Mask and the Glock, and there's a verse on there by Little Glock, and it's like hanging out the window holding tight to my murder weapon. And when I heard that verse, I was like, yo, this is it. I wanna pay homage to this verse. So I kind of reworked it in my own way to make it suit me, so I'm not chatting rubbish. And then obviously we got Predo in to work his magic on it. I just knew that Predo was perfect for the chorus. He encapsulated exactly what I wanted from the tune. Do you get what I mean? Like he understood the assignment and he made it work instantly. So it was a perfect pairing. But also, Predo was perfect for the project because he is somebody that is an inspiration to me from the work ethic that he has. The things that he's done within Manchester kind of symbolizes kind of the work ethic that's within Manchester. And I couldn't see anybody better than Predo to collaborate with for that, to make that happen. Right, so then we have Locals. This is a song that means a lot to me because it's not an ode to Wolverhampton, but it feels like that to me. Do you get what I mean? It's weird, really. Anyone to wonder, we've got a strange, it's weird how strangely connected we are. Do you get what I mean? Like his wife was my older sister's best friend in primary school. My brother knew his brother, they were connected in some way. And yet we existed in the same spaces, but we managed to link up through music so many years later down the line when I'm not even living in Wolves anymore. And for me, I really wanted him on the project because A, I really rate what he does. I think he's so cold, but also I wanted to produce a song with him as well. So I need to add how cold of a producer he is. He plays some keys on there, he added some extra bits into there, and for me, it just turned it up. It made it exactly what I wanted from our collaboration. And also his verse on that song to me is so cold. Like it speaks about, it encapsulates it completes everything that I'm saying, it complements it, but it also just sums Nathan up, do you get what I mean? Like it sums him up perfectly. I think it's great. It just feels like two geezers from Wolves chatting about Locals, innit? And that's perfect. In terms of the journey, in terms of everything for a reason, in terms of the message behind the project, I think Locals really embodies the sentiment behind the project. So yeah, that is Locals. I got the dictionary out today, boy. So with Bless Up, I think it's kind of like, out of all of them, this is like the bars tune. It's like a stream of consciousness. I'm just barring all the way through it. Do you get what I mean? Obviously there is a chorus in between, but this is more kind of like, more than the rest of the tunes, I'd say it's a stream of consciousness, explaining how I got from A to B. I'm touching on how I believe, like my self-belief, how I believe I'm the best rapper, fights that I had at school, the people that I was around at school, how I've got to this point, thanking people for keeping me grounded. Despite the career path that we've chosen to go down, I feel like it's important to have people that aren't involved in music because they will keep you grounded as well. So Bless Up kind of collates all of that into one stream of consciousness. And it's also just a cold tune. If you listen to some of the stuff that I say on there, because I do what I want to do, them guys want to cry online, want to do, take time, power line, are you crazy? Like, people don't even know what want to do is, but if you do, then you do. wanna do. Big up I'm showing my age a bit there, but yeah, bless up. I'm really proud of that tune, and it's a proper bars man tune. Do you get what I mean? There's probably more I could say on it, but yeah, it's a congratulations and also a thank you at the same time. And then finally, we end on My Fault. It's a very different song compared to the rest of the project, but it feels the most nostalgic, and I can't explain why. Even the feedback has been how nostalgic it feels as well. But for me, it's called My Fault. The message behind this is that like we often associate blame with negativity, but it's important to acknowledge and take blame for the good things that we do as well. And that's kind of the message behind that. Do you get what I mean? And it's realizing that like I could have gone down these bad paths. Life was set up realistically for a mixed race kid like me, born where I was. Like the natural progression was to do some of the stuff that I chose not to do, and I think that's also commendable. Do you get what I mean? That is commendable, to be able to say no to some of the things that are so easily available to you. Yeah, we should acknowledge the good things that we do as well and take blame for those things, and don't shut up about them. Keep telling people about the good things that you do. It's not all negative drama. Do you get what I mean? But then also on this song, I touch on like a lot of things overall: vices, life lessons, struggles, cultural identity crisis. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I touch on in this song. But most of all, the most important thing to me is I have a list of people that feature on this song at the end that mean a lot to me. Like everybody's family on this song. And when it's all said and done, obviously we're not around forever. I would like for myself or for these people to be able to go back to this song and just know that like we all exist in this space of time, and it's documented, and you'll always be able to listen to the voices that mean a lot to me. And obviously these people mean a lot to me, and we're all connected. And I want people to be able to go back to that and listen to this moment in time. Yeah, it features everybody that means a lot to me on there. Or should I say, it features people that mean a lot to me on there. And I'm forever grateful that we managed to turn that into an actual idea. And yeah, I think it was a test to myself to be a bit different as well in terms of production. It really was a step out of my comfort zone to produce in that style. But overall, with the project, I think this is my most honest piece of work in terms of my identity, the thoughts and feelings that I have, the journey that I've been on so far. And I just hope that it resonates with the right people. The people that have felt these feelings, I hope when you listen to this project, you know that like, we're not alone in this. Do you get what I mean? And if I can speak for somebody or to somebody through this music, then I hope this project does that for you. And let me know as well. Do you get what I mean? I like to know what people think about the music. I like to know how you resonate with it, if you do, because it means a lot. Do you get what I mean? And I make this music because that's how I'm feeling, and I know there's other people that feel this way. So reach out to me, let me know. Do you get what I mean? So this is Everything for a Reason. It's a 15-minute project, short and sweet, but it's also powerful. Do you get what I mean? It's a small amount of time, but there's a lot of power packed into there, and I'm really proud of this one. What more can I say? I'm proud. Do you get what I mean? Well, what I need to touch on is how this project came about. Like, this project was made possible by the community. It was community funded. So originally I applied for funding. As you know, I applied for funding, I didn't get it. It's a common path. Do you get what I mean? But everything for a reason at the end of the day. I didn't get the funding because I'm not good at what I do. It's just a competitive field, and there's not everyone can win, and that's okay. Everything for a reason. But we weren't gonna let that stop us from being able to create. I truly believe that everybody is entitled to create. Do you get what I mean? It's almost a necessity. We have to express ourselves. And when I was speaking to Josh on the phone when we didn't get the funding, he was like, why don't we like Why don't we just raise it ourselves? And at the time, I was a bit skeptical about that. I'm very sure of myself, but there's also, I've always been a person that's like, I don't want to have a birthday party because what if no one shows up? I don't think I can bear that rejection of nobody showing up. And that's traveled through from being a kid up until now. And that's something that I've had to get better at dealing with. And Josh was like, nah, bro, we can do this. 1,000,000% we can do this. Spoke to my brother Dan. We got Dan involved. He started to become the strategist, the person that made sure that he was like the accountability guy. Do you get what I mean? Strategist, but also held me accountable. And I need that. Do you get what I mean? I need to be held accountable to make things happen as well. Because sometimes I just do what I want to do. So that's not always the strongest thing. But with that team that we put in place, there wasn't a possibility that we weren't, how do I phrase this? It was impossible for this not to succeed. We had the right planning, we had the right intention. There was no reason why this couldn't work. And that is the ethos of SPR. Do you get what I mean? Succeed in pushing reality. We did exactly that. Thank you to you, the people, you made this project happen. And I'm just so happy that it's here now for people to hear. But that's the origins of how this project came about. And I think from start to finish, it really is everything for a reason. And I'll say that one more time. I'm Superlative. This is everything for a reason. And I hope you enjoy this project, man. Yeah, big up. Thank you.